Hi, I'm Akash, an SD3 in endocrinology and diabetes and the creator of Mind the Bleep. Feel free to comment down below if you have any issues or questions. Otherwise, if you have any suggestions or want to get involved with Mind the Bleep, don't hesitate to contact me on mindthebleep@gmail.com. This video lecture is on pay and tax in England. Most doctors struggle with how this works, but it's really important for you to know so that you can correct it if you're being paid incorrectly. We'll be talking about how the pay structure in the NHS and how pay-as-you-earn works. I'll provide an estimation of what you're likely to earn at different levels, how this pay is calculated based on the terms last updated in 2018, and what you'll be paying in tax and other deductions. In the NHS, you're usually paid on the last Thursday of every month, and you're given a pay slip. Tax and other deductions are automatically taken out before you're paid. This is called pay-as-you-earn. At the end of the tax year in April, you're given a summary of all of what you've earned and paid called a P60. Here are some estimates on how much you'll be earning. The top bar is for an FY1 working 9 to 5 without doing any on-calls. The others are based at different levels, working an average of 43 hours and 1 in 4 weekends. If you want to work a more accurate amount based on the hours you're working, you can use the Junior Doctor Finance website that has an awesome calculator. Breaking down how this is calculated, these are the terms you need to know. Gross pay is all the money you earn for all the work you do. From this, you pay tax, national insurance and other deductions. Once all of this is taken out, what you take home is called your net pay. Your gross pay is made of your basic pay, night pay and the pay for working weekends. Essentially, you're paid for all the hours you've worked, with a 37% bonus for any hours worked overnight. Additionally, if you work weekends, you get an additional amount. I'll go through each of these in more detail. Your basic pay is the amount you earn for every hour you work. Rather than an amount per hour, you're given an amount for 40 hours, which is multiplied up or down based on the average hours you work. The amount you get is based on your grade. These are called nodal points, of which there are 5. The amounts at each nodal point are updated every few months, so please note that these values will be slightly lower than the actual amounts. You can get the most up-to-date amounts by Googling NHS pay circular for doctors. The hours you work during unsocial hours, you earn 37% more. That's 9 PM to 7 AM. But if you finish after midnight and before 4 AM, it'll apply to your whole shift. Check this as being applied if you have any shifts that do this, as it's sometimes missed. You paid extra for the weekends you work. You're already being paid a basic rate for every hour, but this is an additional amount for working the weekend. The more weekends you work, the higher the boost to your basic pay. There are also a few extra boosts for other circumstances which I won't go into any detail on, but can all be found in the Junior Doctor contract terms and conditions. Just to run through it all again so you understand how it all works together. An FY1 might get a basic salary of £28,000, expecting to work 40 hours per week, but let's say they work an average of 43 hours. Well, then their basic salary will be 3/40ths more. Let's say of those hours they're working 7 hours overnight at 37% enhancement. Well, then they'll earn an extra 37% boost on these hours. Finally, they're working 1 in 4 weekends. Well, this entitles them to a further boost of 5% of their basic pay. Whether they work 1 hour or 20 hours on the weekend, they earn the same. The aim is to discourage regular short weekend shifts. Your deductions are any money taken out of your salary each month before you even see it. This includes any tax you pay, including income tax and national insurance, contributions to your NHS pension and other deductions like student loans, mess fees and paying for a parking permit. In England, the first portion of your salary is tax-free. This amount is called your personal allowance and it changes every year in April. Any money earned above this is subject to tax, which is currently set at 20% for what you earn up to £50,000. In your personal allowance, the government or HMRC provides you a tax code. For April 2020 to March 2021, this is set at 1250L, which multiplied by 10 is 12,500. The L just means no special circumstances. Obviously, a higher number is better as it means less tax. If you claim tax relief, your tax code may increase. This is because you shouldn't be taxed on things necessary for your job, for example, professional subscriptions like GMC, BMA or exam fees. How to claim tax relief and get your money back is covered in a separate talk. If you have another source of income, your tax code will decrease as to split your allowance over your two sources of income. If you do a locum, sometimes your tax code changes as the HMRC thinks you're doing two regular jobs. They then put you on an emergency tax code to make sure they don't lose out on tax. You may need to call them if this happens to explain your circumstances. This is a very quick call that takes only a few minutes and is really easy to do. If you forget to do this, HMRC does look at how much you've earned over the year and adjust your tax automatically at the end of the tax year. But you might want to have the money earlier than that, and you may definitely want to make sure you're on top of this. What are the take-home messages? Firstly, whenever you get a work schedule, check this reflects the hours you're working and review whether they are paying you an appropriate amount based on your grade and the nights and weekends that you're working. Each month, check your payslip for what money you're paying out as tax. Specifically, look at your tax code and check whether this is correct. If not, call the HMRC to have this adjusted. If you need help with this, the BMA can support you by checking your rota and work schedule. If you do join them, use my referral link below as I get some money to pay the costs of the website and video hosting. If you have any questions, you're welcome to drop a comment below. Thank you so much for listening to this talk.